My fellow New Yorkers, how are you? Today, as I'm recording this video on October 25th, early voting has begun for the mayoral race in New York City. And as you all know, I'm supporting and voting for Zohran Mandani. And I just want to make this video to just remind everybody that's in the New York City area to go out and vote. Do your civic duty and participation. I know that a lot of us are tired of politics and of politicians promising us the same old things. But when we finally have a new guy that is fresh and full of ideas and ambition, why not give him a chance? And that's what the crux of this whole video is going to be about. What will happen if Zohran wins and why he should win over the other three candidates in the field. A lot of people say that we elect the same people over and over and nothing ever changes. Well, of course nothing's ever going to change if you keep doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. At the end of the day, there are a lot of people in politics that should have retired or even aged out of politics decades ago. But because they're beholden to their donors and lobbyists and so forth, they're never going to retire. Also because power and money become very addictive. And it's so ironic to me because the whole reason anyone should become a politician is to serve the people, to serve the general public, to serve their constituents. But instead, it's all become about serving themselves. And that's why people are done with the political system. They have zero faith in politicians. There's not even that high of a turnout when we have a presidential election and so forth. But now we have Zohran Mamdani, a candidate who is inspiring youth, similar to how Bernie Sanders did in 2016, and is also fresh with ideas and ambitions and goals that people deride as too ambitious and too radical. What's radical about free buses? What's radical about rent stabilization and rent control? What's radical about making sure that lower and middle income people get more than what they're currently getting? It's not fair, and it should not be normalized that people have to work 2 or 3 jobs in New York City to make ends meet. And it's also not fair to tell those people, get out because you're too poor for New York City. That is not how somewhere works. Sure, no one has the entitlement to live anywhere, but it's also not fair that you are priced out of your own city because people that are not even from that city are pushing you out. And greedy landlords are legally able to do this. That is not fair in any certain scenario. Like, how would you like it if someone came into your house and said, you know what, I live here now because I make more money than you? That's what it boils down to. And so, yes, no one's saying that rent control and rent stabilization is going to make everything cheap in New York City and all of a sudden everyone's going to afford apartments left and right. But for the 25% of rent control and stabilized units in New York City, that'll be a relief. And even if I weren't part of that 25%, even if I'm the 75% that's not in a rent stabilized apartment, I would still want my fellow New Yorkers to benefit from that because I have empathy. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like some people have this all or nothing approach. Like, oh, he's promising rent control and he's going to freeze the rent when it's only going to affect 25% of like rent stabilized units. So 25% is way better than 0%. Like, let's be for real. And let's not even acknowledge the fact that the current mayor, Eric Adams, has approved bumping rents higher because his selected appointees for the rent control board approved these hikes and he has done nothing about it. And the cost of living has only soared in New York City since he took office in 2021. So I don't understand why it's so hard for some people to see that the clear decision in this race is Zohran Mamdani. And the next point that a lot of people bring up is that he has zero experience or limited experience, or as another candidate said, that his resume could fit on a cocktail napkin. Well, let me tell you this. At the federal level in the United States currently, we have a president who had zero political experience before becoming president. So I don't understand the sudden standard shift as to the fact that you have to have more experience to be a mayor than to be a president. You cannot come for a politician for not having experience when the very fucking president has zero experience in government and just got there because of his name and notoriety and fame. So it's like Don't come for somebody that's actually trying to build that experience, that is already trying to create that resume. Because it's like, if you don't give people a chance, how are they going to show you what they're really about? I'd rather have no experience or limited experience than bad experience. And some of those other candidates in the race have bad experience that are no longer viable in government and shouldn't even be in government anymore and have been in government for decades. And it's like, come on now, give other people a chance. You've had your time in the sun, move on. You know, I hate the fact that like this whole narrative of, oh, Zohran Mamdani has zero experience, limited experience. Look who the president is and get back to me about experience. I don't want to hear that crap anymore because it's so stupid and insulting. It's like the same way like how many jobs want you to have experience, but then it's like, okay, how am I going to build that experience if every job wants me to already have experience? You know, it's that catch-22 type of scenario. It's like you're dragging or attacking people for not being experienced, but then when they actually want to build that experience, you don't let them. You don't give them a chance. You try to shut them out. So to me, that's a very stupid angle to attack. Another criticism of him is, of course, his stances on the whole Israel-Palestine conflict, which, of course, should not even be relevant considering that you're going to be the mayor of New York City. And this is why people get so pissed, because a lot of Americans are tired of being involved in foreign conflicts and foreign interests, and Americans just feel left behind. And New York City is one of the most American cities in the United States. So people are obviously going to feel stressed and tired when they can't even afford rent in New York City, yet pundits and like all these politicians want to only talk about a certain issue that's like 5,000 miles away. I'm not saying these issues aren't important, but the mayor of New York City has limited power. I think some people are forgetting that he is not running to be the president. He's just running to be a mayor, which leads me into my next point. A lot of people are like kind of doom and gloom about Zohran becoming mayor, saying that it'll be the end of New York City, that everything will go to trash and it'll appear like it was in the 1970s and it'll go bankrupt. Like, do you not know the difference between the local state governments? Zohran Mamdani will have to work with Kathy Hochul at the state level. He doesn't have the power with his magic wand to just do whatever he wants, which is why I also advise that, like, if you are voting for Zohran Mamdani, don't think that things are going to change overnight, and don't give up hope that, oh, things never change, or that he abandoned his campaign if you don't see immediate results, because he will be blocked in every direction. He will have a lot of, you know, anguish from the federal level and even probably sometimes from the state level, because again, in America, we have different sectors of government. We have the state, the local, and federal government. So the mayor of New York City can't do whatever he wants, you know? So when I hear ridiculous theories like, oh, he's going to implement like Muslim prayers into schools and indoctrinate people, I just think you're not even from New York City. You don't even go here.
She doesn't even go here.
Do you even go to this school?
No. I just have a lot of feelings.
Okay, go home.
Like, stay the fuck out of New York City politics. Stay wherever you are in bumfuck Idaho. Because I am so tired of people that are not from New York City, that don't live in New York City, and then don't even have a day of experience living in New York City, chiming in and giving their 2 cents. They don't know the issues of this city. They only listen to what they hear on YouTube and TikTok and all these right-wing propaganda videos that make New York City seem like some third world hellhole, when in reality that's not the case. The problem is that there's a lot of corruption in government, and Zohran is trying to obviously reduce that. We've already seen this current mayor be involved in so many scandals that so many of his staff have had to resign. That's embarrassing. We don't want a mayor that has such things under his belt. We want somebody fresh and new with great ideas, similar to how Barack Obama got a vote in 2008 when he won over Hillary Clinton, the establishment candidate. That's what Zohran will do. He will win over Andrew Cuomo, the establishment candidate. So it's refreshing to see that in spite of everything, you know, Zohran is pulling through, and New Yorkers will help him become the next mayor of New York City. And if you have a problem with that, you can pack your bags and leave, because it's just time to give somebody new a chance. Let the old guard go. These politicians from yesteryear have had their time in the sun, they've spent decades rotting in government, have made millions of dollars. Let the new guy have a chance. And if he messes up, well then he'll be voted out, and we'll have somebody else down the line. Let's stop acting like this is the end of the world. Let's stop the drama, please, because this is ridiculous. We're adults here. Come on. Anyways, that's all I had to say for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Go vote, and have a good one. Bye.